referees for today's match. Middle, Ben Clark. AR Mark Parsons. Will Stafford. Fourth official, Rassi. Now the starting lineup for the Prospect Lake Lakers. Visiting team. Number 16, Kevin Bobies. Number 8, Chris Broughton. Number 12, Zach Duriapple. Number 27, Phil Eastman. Number 10, Christopher Rowe. Number 17, Jordy Hughes. Number 13, Matthew Malloy. Goalkeeper, Brian Salmon. Number 21, Mike Smith. Number 11, Alex Neville-Barone. Number 7, Tyler Thompson. Coaching staff, Mark Watts. Manager, Kevin Bides. Coach, Ryan Hendrickson. Captain, Matt Malloy. Starting 11 for Lakehill Masters. Number 9, Tyson Atleo. 24, Barry.
And with that coin toss, we are ready to get underway for the 2024 Vancouver Masters Cup. Hello everyone, my name is Richero. Glad to have you with us here at Starlight Stadium in Langford. It's a rainy one today, but no one really minds because what Island soccer game is complete without at least a little bit of rain in it? Lakehill Masters are in the white and black kit today with Prospect Lake Lakers in their orange and black kit. Interestingly, for this year's edition of the Tony Grover Masters Cup, what would be a seemingly perennial finalist, the dynasty that is Cowichan 49ers, not involved in this year's competition, at least in the finals. Cowichan 49ers defeated 1-0 by Lakehill Masters in the semifinals out at Brayfoot Park on March 8th, which means Lakehill are now looking for their second Tony Grover Cup, having won it only once before in 2003 when they were still the Lakehill Frolic. Great name. Meanwhile, Prospect Lake looking for their very first Tony Grover Cup in club history. Both teams were middle of the pack in the Masters A pool in the Vancouver Island Soccer League, with Lakehill finishing in third. Well, technically they aren't finished. There are still 3 games left on the schedule. Lakehill has 3 games in hand on the league. Prospect has 2. As things sit right now, Lakehill are on third with 26 points. Prospect Lake are on fourth, also on 26, but Lakehill has the tiebreak. Starting lineups for this cup tilt on your left there, on our broadcast left of the orange and black kit, Prospect Lake. In goal, Brian Salmon. From there, it's Tyler Thompson there, number 7. You can see checking his socks. Chris Broughton, Christopher Guerrero, Alex Tamavong, Zach Dalrymple, Matt Malloy has the captain's armband for Prospect Lake, Kevin Baubies, Jordy Hughes, Mike Smith, and Phil Eastman. For Lakehill Masters, the white and black kit. Robert McIntyre starting between the sticks for them today. Then it's Tyson Atleo, Cooper Berry, Paolo De Almeida, Sean McKenzie, Taylor Hunter, Darcy Lenton, Vladimir Music, Yuda Sua, Samuel Yeager, and the captain's armband is on Cameron Rose. Prospect Lake starting off from the opening kick as we are underway. It's Dalrymple going back. Salmon will take care of things there. Salmon, of course, the goalkeeper with the name Fish on the back of his jersey. And here goes Jordy Hughes looking to try and get through the defense. Is stopped quickly there by Sua. Fending off, poking out wide, but that is picked up. And Prospect Lake will go back to the attack. Mike Smith here trying to get in, puts it low on the track, but it's taken away. Stopped there by Broughton. Guerrero blocked. McKenzie getting in the way of that one, and Lakehill will clear. Chance here for a break. There are numbers back. Nice little stutter step there by Cameron Rose, and Rose goes wide. Puts the cross in first time. He's looking back post, but it's touched down nicely, actually kept in play by Darcy Lenton. Good touch from Lenton, unable to follow up on it though. It's Prospect Lake trying to break out. They will concede the throw though on this near side. Sam Yeager with the throw. Trying to move in on this near side, but it's close quarters there. Good job by Music. Keeping his feet, sets up here, but that's blocked and taken away. On the deck there, that has a poor clearance and sent right back. Lakehill will take a chance to try and gain some control here. Tyson Atleo out wide. Atleo with the overlap, Rose stepping in. The captain chips it in, headed up. Dalrymple already be called on to make multiple clearances here from the center of the defense. You have to think it's going to be a busy afternoon at the office for Zach Dalrymple. The early blushes from this match aren't to be any indication. Hughes. It's a good ball looking forward. And it's a little bit too far out of the reach of the attacker Prospect Lake. Instead, wearing the number 1 kit, Robert McIntyre. Throw this one back into play. Cleared from the back line by Hunter. Go to midfield, chested down. That is Giro there. They'll cycle back. Dalrymple has Eastman with him. Dalrymple will wait. He'll go long instead. That is headed down by Jaeger. Popped up, but no one there. Ambitious ball there from De Almeida. Paulo De Almeida sitting in the, I guess we call it the number 10 role here for Lakehill, sitting in the middle of that attacking 3. Lakehill running what appears to be a 4-3-3 here in the early going. Get as many attacking options as they can to, as we saw in the early going there, flare out wide. That's where Rose is waiting. That's where you can imagine Atleo will also be.
My guy showed up, had to do it solo, so in the back of the truck and on the forklift at the same time. So by the end of it,
Intercepted.
just get used to it.
They're trying to get this, but it will be Prospect Lake.
This week off from calling games, and then we're going to Palm Springs
McKenzie
next weekend.
puts it to midfield.
April through June, I'll be pretty busy.
Lakehill playing in close quarters here. Broughton having to do everything to try and keep track of it, and Camden now it's Lakehill board Music. Dalrymple clears, but only briefly. Dangerous check there being put in, and to ground goes De Almeida, but the flag goes the other way. That might have been an offside call there against Lakehill, and it'll be Prospect Lake with the free kick. Taken long, chested down, or headed down, I should say. And Music, 25 in white. Prolific goal scorer for Lakehill this season. Currently their leading scorer in the league with 7 to his name. Also chipped in with 5 in this cup competition. Oh, that very nearly gets away from Salmon. Coming together of bodies, but no further damage can be done. And it's Jaeger chipping it into the area. And this time Salmon claims it cleanly. Tyler Thompson was looking for a way forward. They're playing it back. He'll get it again. This is Thompson. Chipping it forward. He's asking for a run here out wide. Tamavong. Nice little cut inside, but not enough pace to it, and that's dealt with by Atleo. Hughes. Puts it low. He's looking for some help here, and sliding in to scoop that up is McIntyre. Kevin Baubies was sneaking in from this near side, and alert goalkeeping from McIntyre to make sure that Baubies didn't have what would have amounted to a tap-in this early on. We're not even 10 minutes into this match. Both sides showing some offensive flair. The slight edge on balance would be towards Lakehill, as Prospect Lake's had to do a little more reacting, but now they get the chance to go on the attack. Hughes keeps it in, crossed, deflected. It was an unintentional deflection, perhaps, off of the heel of McKenzie. Either way, McIntyre clears it. De Almeida is fouled. That'll be a free kick. There's a little chuckle shared there between De Almeida and Broughton. I have to imagine that's the classic so-called tactical foul. Rose. Going one-on-one there with Malloy. Battle of the captains there, actually. Matthew Malloy has the armband for Prospect Lake, who now control, and it is Malloy. That gets away from him, though, and that'll be a throw-in deep for Lakehill. Rose down to the corner. Blocked. Good defending there from Mike Smith. Popped up and popped right back up again. A wild clearance there from Malloy. Only past the edge of the box. Dalmeida's offside here, surely. And either way, it's claimed by Salmon. And, no further threat. And Salmon goes with the long throw. He's found a wide open Thompson here, who does well to control, but can't make the first touch count for him. And instead, he was trying to spring a couple of options there. He had Lenton going forward, but actually Lenton gives chase there and does well to put some pressure on Eastman. Prospect Lake does clear, though. Dalrymple will let this roll through. I think Salmon will claim it, and he does. Brian Salmon with one clean sheet in this cup run, plus one more in league play. As a team, Prospect Lake conceded 25 goals this season. Actually, 3 fewer than Lakehill. Very similar stat lines going off win-loss and goal differential here for both sides. So nothing a lot to separate them, other than both of their cup runs have been quite remarkable. Yeager and McKenzie patiently taking after the back line there for Lakehill. They'll continue that patience. Now they'll go long. Trying to hit Sua. Gets past him. Dalmeida heavily shouldered there by Dalrymple. That one had a shoulder barge, had a bit of venom into it. Now Rose jostling with Dalrymple, who comes away with it. Tamavong looking for some help. Thrown in here by Lakehill. They'll look for something to happen in midfield. They'll take their time here to try and set this up at least from the back, and they do manage to have Sam Yeager in a good position to do something with this. Opts for the long delivery. Playing back to goal and controlling there was Cooper Berry. Also the assistant coach for Lakehill Masters, wearing 2 hats or 2 sets of cleats. Not quite sure how that works, but either way, Barry did well to have his back to goal on that initial ball in, but no one to follow up on it, and it's Prospect Lake here. Now once again playing out of the back. That has been in the early going Prospect Lake's game plan, is to sit back, soak up the pressure, wait for a counter. And the best chance of the afternoon has so far been Prospect Lake's. Alert goalkeeping from Robert McIntyre early, stopping a through ball from getting into a dangerous position. About 13 minutes into this, 0-0, Lakehill Masters and Prospect Lake Lakers. I checked, that is their actual name, the Prospect Lake Lakers. Thank goodness we're not up against Lakehill. That would make things really confusing, but I digress. Lenton here looking for the ball through. Shoulder barge there and well blocked by Eastman. Didn't give any ground there. Hughes with the header, jumping with Hunter. Now a chance to turn here for Thompson. Tamavong has been patrolling that left side on the attack. Been a bit starved for service, but doing the best that he can. There's a nice little 1-2 ball and a chance here for the overlap to run by Mike Smith. Smith touches it back for Tamavong. Hughes, nice little back heel. Couldn't get any control on it though, was Thompson. And Lakehill will clear that. Tamavong covering. And Jordy Hughes manages to beat the man on shout and nicks it right back from Barry. Baubies. Hughes puts it low, looking for the touch from Thompson. Instead, it's Lakehill coming the other way. Sent first time forward. Rose doesn't try and get past Smith. Keeps it in. Has the Almeida coming short for it. There's the 1-2 ball. Rose on the overlap. Can he get there first? Does. Prospect Lake has to be careful here, and they do manage to outlast the attrition war there, and that's going to come off the corner flag and out. That should be a throw for Lakehill, and it is. Paulo de Almeida there is already trying to provide that creative spark. We mentioned before he's playing what amounts to a number 10 role, an advanced playmaker. And he's certainly trying to do that here as Lakehill advance into the attacking area. That's deflected. It'll be another throw. Out into the far temporary bleachers. I don't blame everyone for taking shelter here on a rainy cup final weekend for the Vancouver Island Soccer League. We had two finals earlier today, the U21 George Smith Cup, the George Pierce Challenge Cup. Of course, right now you're watching the Tony Grover Masters Cup, and later on today, the finale, the Sir John Jackson Cup between Vic West and Comox Valley United. Lakehill. Nice little turn there from Rose. Once again, asked to go 1-1 this time. He might have won a corner, and he does. First corner of the game will go to Lakehill. As Rose in that battle with Mike Smith this time wins it. And now a set-piece opportunity here for Lakehill Masters. It'll be Lenton on delivery duties for this. Barry and de Almeida staying at the edge of the box. Well, a little warning from the referee not to get too jostly with the keeper. Jaeger is waiting on the far side of the box, as is Rose. Now they'll go in motion here. Eustace is in the center, but that is not the best delivery in the world. And that set piece will be, we'll charitably call that not the best. And it'll be a Prospect Lake goal kick. Lenton does have 6 goals in this cup run for Lakehill Masters. That actually ties him for the team lead. Cameron Rose has 6 as well. No shortage of cup goals for this Lakehill side. And they'll need at least 1 if they want to avoid penalties. That was Sua in midfield playing that back. It's McKenzie and Atleo. Jaeger is there waiting. And goes long. Asking for a run here from Lenton. Lenton in a foot race. Does manage to shield it from Malloy. But Malloy stands his ground, keeps it in, and does manage to get it briefly up before it bounces off of a Lakehill boot, and it'll be out for a throw for Prospect Lake. Joining me now in the booth, you know him, you love him, the one, the only Mr. Vince Greco. Vince, how are you doing today? I can only imagine the high you must be riding. The previous tilt, for those of you that didn't see it, was Vic West versus Vic West. We'll explain that later. Right now it's Lakehill charging through mid. Centered, and just back it goes. Salmon will claim that. Once again, de Almeida in the center of the action. Trying to get the first goal of the afternoon for Lakehill, and looking dangerous while doing so. Barry lets that go. Music puts it on the deck. That'll be Jaeger. Now a chance here for de Almeida to turn. He does get the shot off. Oh, nearly picks the corner, head in hands. He froze Salmon with that one. And I think the Prospect Lake can count themselves lucky that they have a goal kick out of that one. That was Lakehill's best chance of the afternoon easily, as Paulo de Almeida nearly shows that technique to freeze Salmon. It'll be Eastman taking this goal kick to get us back underway. And it'll pop up and over by Sua. Atleo finds Rose. Has to get away from Euro. Does. Sua, I think they were asking for the overlap. The instruction came a little bit late. But jumping quickly there was Jordy Hughes. And now chance for Prospect Lake on the counter. Can they get numbers forward? Damavong. Playing to Hughes and then forward. It's a lovely ball. He does manage to pick out Thompson. The return, but that goes out of play. And what looked like a promising break forward there, Vince, unfortunately comes to nothing.
And you know what? That's where Prospect Lake is going to be their most dangerous to you on that counter. They do it well. And when you have Jordy Hughes up front, he's always a threat. And he's going to sneak his way in there for sure at some point today. I just know it.
As we said from the supporters' benches so many times when he played for Victoria Highlanders, there's only one Jordy Hughes.
That's right.
And they could, I'm sure Prospect Lake could use some of that vintage Jordy Hughes as they look for their first ever Tony Grover Cup. Barry, jostling of shin pads there, and it does go very well in favor of Lakehill. All the way back goes Smith to retrieve this. He'll tap that over to Salmon. Some calm control there as Lakehill has, I think, managed to understand the assignment here that they cannot be cheap with possession. Not with those counters waiting them, and Atleo did well to control that. Now Rose again, Dalmeida. There's the return. Dalmeida takes the run. And a little touch from Rose. I don't think he saw the run from Dalmeida in time. Either way, he does get the throw. This is the quick clearance from Prospect Lake.
That's going to be a big key for Lakehill today, is having Vladimir Music there in the middle of the park distributing. And if he's on, he's one of the best around at giving the ball out, setting people up, but he needs to be on today. There he goes.
And already a chance in, but that one is taken and blocked and cleared, or almost cleared there. Smith takes a touch as he has a bit of time, and now Tamalong will help it out the rest of the way. Jostling of heads there. Thompson loses that one out to Hunter. But the danger not over here. Hunter again jumping with Thompson, winning this one again. Barry not able to scoop that one away. Dalrymple. Dalrymple's been busy in these first 15 minutes, Vince. It's been the heart of the defense has been Malloy and Dalrymple, and he has been one busy defender for Prospect Lake.
I'll tell you what, that Prospect Lake back four, they're solid, and they're going to be tough to beat. So that's definitely, I think, one of the big things for Prospect Lake.
Well, chance for Prospect Lake on the other end of the pitch. Offside flag goes up as Baubies had moved just into a bit of an offside position before getting that return ball. This is the counter they've been wanting for, again, it's only been we've only been at this for 22 odd minutes, but the phrase that pays has been Hughes to wings to someone. The problem is that someone hasn't quite been figured out just yet.
And that's where you'll see Alex Damavong coming in with his speed. He's going to surprise someone with a burst, and if Lakehill's not ready, they'll get punished.
Long ball over the head, actually. They were looking for music for that one. Barry helps it out. Sua past Tamavong, and now Rose out wide. Latest chapter in the Rose-Smith battle here, and this time Rose with a burst of speed. Past Smith, can he get the ball in? Opts to go low. Did he get the deflection? Smith clears it to be safe. It will be a deep throw for Lakehill. Rose doubled over a little bit there after that sprint. And they'll treat this, I think, as its own form of set piece here. Bodies are already forward, only leaving three back. Are Lakehill, as they think they see something here. And they'll have Lenton wind this one up. No, it's in the box, excuse me. The target is one of them, headed away by Dalrymple. And they'll get a second crack at this. Calling for it in the center is Jaeger. Touches it forward. Nice little flick. That one is headed away. Two efforts there to clear it. A wild swing there, and they give the foul against Lakehill. It was definitely a swing in the legs there by the end. I think there's some confusion from the Lakehill players as to how they got called for fouling as opposed to being fouled. They will discuss that later, as here comes the Prospect Lake counter. Once again, out wide, Baubies. One-on-one with Jaeger. Jaeger holds his ground nicely. Looking for a foul. It wasn't called. There's the cross. Chested away. Once again, it's Jaeger having it all to do here. Shielding up the corner flag. And this time gets rid of it. Now the foul is called. I think Jaeger was waiting for that whistle that never came. Eventually, though, the referee does decide that a bit too aggressive on the counter were Prospect Lake, and Lakehill now get a chance to play out with a little more space. Jaeger, Hunter, McKenzie, Atleo forming that back four right now for Lakehill. McIntyre behind them. McIntyre had not been too busy except for the one clear, I guess you call it a half chance for Prospect Lake, where he had to slide out and intercept the ball before it made it to any attacker. But that's been about it for McIntyre's marching orders today. That's Dalrymple and now Baubies. Nice little flick to get past there. Leaves Lenton in the dust. And now on the deck here, here's a run from Eastman up from the fullback position. And that one gets a deflection. Does that go out? It does, and it will be a goal kick. Yeah, content to make sure that spun the right way was McKenzie. Intercepted by Malloy as the armband today for Prospect Lake. Jostling with Cooper Barry, and Barry actually takes it quickly, having won the foul, and now Lenton on the turn. Going one-on-one here for a burst of speed. Can he get past Eastman? All the way to the end line. Looking for a way through. Holds up. Couple little pokes there from Eastman, and all the way to the corner flag. And that'll be cleared out, and it will be Lakehill from deep, this time on the near side instead of the far side. They've preferred the far side of the pitch from our vantage point anyway here, Vince. This is one of the few times we've seen them use the near side. They've really favored having Rose on that right, but now it's going to instead be Jaeger with the long throw. Flicked up and clear. That should be a corner, and it will. Second corner of the afternoon. Both going the way of Lakehill, and this one be the first from the near side.
Well, and Lenton is he's definitely a dangerous weapon here on the left side, so look for him to provide a little bit of service, or like you say, beat some with some speed on the side there, and I'm pretty sure he'll be great in something today.
I wouldn't doubt it, and it will be Jaeger with the delivery. Looking for Lenton. Good position, and having to punch there was Salmon, but he's out of position. That one, oh, just past the post. Salmon had to punch to make the clearance. Well, that left him in all to see there, and they do have a player on the ground. That is Lenton, who did catch a fist, I believe, there from Salmon when he went up to challenge for it, or a shoulder, one of the two. Either way, Darcy Lenton up to his feet. And at the end of all of that, the ball did cross the end line. It will be another corner. They'll run this play again. Will Lakehill, third corner. Jaeger ready to go. Looks like so is Lenton. And the right-footed delivery. A half punch there from Salmon as he couldn't get a full claim on that. Atleo. Second phase ball here. Headed by Lenton. And Salmon able to claim this one. Touchdown by Thompson. Up against McKenzie, who gets it back to midfield. And Tamavong will flick to the midfield circle. Jostling there was Hughes and I believe Hunter. And now it's once again McIntyre, though, has come way out to challenge this, and he's out of his net. Balbais couldn't quite find the angle. Can Hughes find the angle? Touches it to the mid. Sliding down. That's the best chance of the afternoon. Easily, and McIntyre is equal to the challenge.
Rob almost got burnt there on that bit of a tour he went on, but fortunately for him, it all worked out in the end.
Bit of a heart and mouth moment as you see your keeper suddenly outside of his box and an attacker on the wrong side of him. Meanwhile, it's Lenton and Eastman going at it again at this near side. Once again, it's what we were talking about earlier, Vince. Hughes gets in the heart of it, sets up the attack, and all they needed was that one final touch. And this time they got it, but McIntyre was waiting for it.
And very familiar to the semifinal that Prospect Lake played against Bays United, where they didn't have a lot of chances, but when they did have their one or two chances, they equalized, or they scored, took advantage of them, and beat a team that probably carried a lot more of the play on the day, but of course, you got to put the ball in the net for it all to count.
Absolutely. It's the magic of the cup, right?
Yeah.
Everyone loves a good cup set except the team being upset.
It's funny how that works.
Salmon opts for the drop kick here. Headed down by Sua. Lenton flicked up, watched by Eastman. And Eastman comes away better for this, but he leaves for Lenton, and now the flag goes up, and it did actually go off of Lenton last. That will be a throw over Prospect Lake. Flicked forward once again. This time does not stay in play long enough for Kevin Bauweis to do anything about it. Jaeger, who's been busy these last 10 minutes, continues to be active on the near side. Nice throw in. Music to Sua, excuse me. Jaeger. Back to Music as he drops deep here to try and get something facilitated from below the press. And it has opened a little bit more space in this midfield. Only for a little bit, though, as that ball goes right to the waiting feet of Smith. And the shouts of time from the Prospect Lake benches. He did indeed had a lot, did Chris Broughton. But now it's a long ball for Tamavong, who's found himself in space. This could be dangerous. Bodies to ground, one of them being Tamavong. Referee is not interested. McIntyre will throw that well clear of the danger. Bit of a loose touch, but controlled by Lakehill. But Lenton slow to react to that one from Eastman. Now Broughton stepping forward. Sliding in with Sua. And it's still Lakehill as they'll try to build out from Cooper Barry. Barry goes over the top. Surging run here from De Almeida. And does he keep it in? He does. But only briefly and only to the wrong team. Hughes. There's the first touch. Now he's looking for someone to go to. He has options. Opts to keep it himself. Now goes up the middle for Tamavong, who's made a nice run. 1-on-2 here, and he has someone in support if he can hear the shout. Unfortunately, he cannot. And somewhere in that fray, they actually managed to make a substitution, did Lakehill. That is Shane McClement, who has come on for the team in orange. Fresh legs before the half here for Prospect Lake. Atleo. And that clearance will go over the line and will be immediately thrown back in, we would assume, by Smith, and it is. Dalrymple. Malloy and Tamavong in that midfield. Thompson now. Tamavong. Malloy's long ball is looking for help. Flag stays down. He's onside. Takes the shot right at McIntyre. It was a sharp angle shot. McIntyre still had to be there to make sure it didn't sneak past him, and he was. And Smith will quickly retreat on defense. Lenton. And just to get Eastman to bite there, but only briefly. Rose leaves it for Dalmeida from distance, but that's high and rising over Salmon's net. I'm pretty sure there's a good fish joke there about a salmon net.
I do believe that's his nickname, Fish, so very fitting.
I'm sure he's probably heard all of it by this point.
At least once.
Yeah, looks like they will bring another ball into play here rather than forcing the Prospect Lake keeper to go all the way on a long migration to get it. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Yeah.
I'll stop.
Well, there's no shortage of high-quality Macron soccer balls on site.
Excellent. Can't use ball kids on a day like today. They'd drown. It's a soggy day here out on the turf. But none of the players seem to be minding too much as Music puts that one forward for Rose. Calling for the return. He might get it here. Gets the first-time touch, but that's high. The shout did not go unheeded there as Rose picked his target well to find Music on the return.
Yeah, I'll say Lakehill's using the outsides nicely with Cam Rose and Lenton on the left. And both Vlad and Cooper in the middle of the park. It's it's been an interesting little go to start.
They've tried a couple different combinations, both with the overlap, both with pure pace, but they've yet to find the one that can fully crack the heart of this Prospect Lake defense, which is, I can imagine, starting to build a little bit of frustration here as we head into the 35th minute. Still 0-0, Lakehill Masters and the Prospect Lake Lakers. Flicked on by Thompson. Hughes goes for a run against that one. Does manage to beat McKenzie, but can't get the ball to go with him. They'll send that one across. Had to move quick there to Datleo. And charging forward was Malloy to start something the other way. Hughes, is he onside? Flag stays down. Jordy Hughes over the bar. Oh, he had eyes wide as saucers as that one, as he saw both sides of McIntyre open.
Well, it's amazing how that little pitch from Alex, that speed from Alex Samavong on the outside, really created that turnover. The back four for Prospect Lake, able to pinch in and deliver that perfect service to Jordy. But unfortunately, Jordy was just a bit outside.
He doesn't miss too many of those. Will he get another chance this half? I'm sure the Prospect Lake faithful will be hoping so. He is their leading goal scorer in this cup run with 4. He has also contributed 7 in the league campaign. Top again for his team. If there's one guy you want leading the charge in a cup final, that would be the guy to do it. Throw in here for Prospect Lake around the midfield stripe. Kevin Balby's there. He hasn't had much to do on the near side. They've been more content to let Hughes drift into Balby's lane, and he's been more shuffled into more of a supporting winger role. Be interesting to see how that works for him as this match goes on. And now, as you can see, he's pushed forward. The service goes behind him. Perhaps that's why. Music now. Nice little touch to get past Malloy. Can he get the left boot on this? The opposite come back inside, and one touch too many. Lenton, can he save this? Eastman's charging in. Malloy goes to ground. Keeps it in his boots. Well, the number's too great there. But coming in to support was Delmeda, but now Dalrymple. Sua deflected, and Salmon will snap that up.
That's where you see the experience of Vlad Music there. While he was trying to work his way right into the 6-yard box. One extra touch, like you mentioned. Too bad he couldn't find someone a little earlier.
The patience is commendable. Perhaps a little bit too patient for his own liking. There's Thompson, flailing a bit with all limbs to try and get that ball back under his control. It does get a kind deflection from Tamavong, though. Comes off of the Prospect Lake winger last, though. And that'll be a throw in for Atleo to take for Lakehill. Closing in on the final 6 minutes or so of this half. 0-0. Seems it's about a fair scoreline, all things considered. Yes, the tactics have been attack and counter for their respective sides for Lakehill and Prospect Lake. But both sides have earned themselves about a draw going into the break, and I can't really say either team will feel like they've been hard done by necessarily. One clear shot for each side, neither of which has hit the target. McIntyre has been tested somewhat, and that's a shoulder barge right into Dalmeda by Dalrymple, and there will be some thoughts about taking this quickly, but I think they'll set this one up with time winding down in the half. They want to get a solid chance out of this, and Barry now floats it over. Did he beat the offside? He did not. Once again, Music checking to see if the defense was paying attention. Unfortunately, he started his run a bit too far forward. He takes that run a step back, and he's caught them all asleep. And a brief respite here. Not a unwise decision from Malloy. And the captain will send that one long. Coming together of bodies as Barry takes out 2. Not sure he intended to do that. Either way, Thompson went down, and then McClement went down even harder. And McClement definitely got the worst of that, and he left, I think, both feet in that tumble. I think there's pretty clear understanding that nobody intended for that to happen the way it did. So they'll make sure that McClement is good to go. There is some activity on the subs bench for Prospect Lake. They may make a sub to see the half out here. Should be absolutely certain, but we'll wait and see what the decision is. Nope, McClement's good to go. He's going to walk back towards the pitch. Maybe I speak too soon here.
Or it'll just have to be the customary, wait off for 10 seconds, and the referee will let you back on in a bit.
Give you the formal wave. Indeed, McClement will wait for the referee's instruction to return. Long ball flicked on. Not a bad attempt there from Thompson. Found himself in a knot of defenders and was able to make contact.
I think he lulled them to sleep after being down there on that injury and almost scored a goal.
It's on page 5 of the playbook. It's the run-up after the injury play.
Yeah.
Hughes up against McKenzie. Ball goes central. Broughton chasing after it, trying to bulldoze his way through. Barry's not going to let that happen, and McIntyre catches a deflection on the clearance. It actually works out in his favor as Music is right underneath it, now with Lenton to help out. Music goes long. Foot race here. Lenton's got a step. Dalrymple charging over to cut the angle off and does.
Lenton is quick, but he's not that quick.
No, and Dalrymple has been alert all game. Anything happens, he's the last line of defense, and he hasn't broken yet. He's barely bent, if we're being honest. He has been solid back there so far. Thompson. Prospect Lake are going to try and kill a few seconds here. They do manage to get possession briefly until a tumble at the end, or the near line, excuse me. Means a throw in for Lakehill. Final few minutes of the half. Watching for the indication from the referee here. They'll be on his mercy. As that clearance goes askew, and Lenton, little flick on with the thigh. Music can't beat Fish.
You just called him Fish. I love it.
I thought I had something with music and fish, and there was some sort of pun brewing in my brain that died about the time the shot got saved. Flag goes up for offside here on Tamavong.
Well, that was a huge save for Salmon. He came up big after a little bit of crafty footwork there from Almeida. It was a big save at a crucial time.
About 90 seconds and change, give or take, what the referee decides to add on for stoppages. Can't imagine there'd be more than a minute or two. It's been a fairly clean half, minus the one brief injury we had in there, or at least check for injury in midfield. Imagine the referee will see fit to add too much to counter to that. Meanwhile, Lenton, actually, Clement gives up the foul there. This is not a bad position for a late set piece. If you're Lakehill, you might even, depending on who's taking it, maybe you look for somebody of the near post flick. How many bodies do you send forward, though? And looks like Delmeda will be given the honors here. Forward goes Jaeger.
He's crafty on the ball. He can deliver some good service.
Scott Sua is an option short. Goes near Music's flick. Following up is Lenton. Clear away by Eastman. Sua!
Oh.
Not able to hit the target, but he had some venom on that strike, did Yuta Sua. And Prospect Lake remains unbroken. It's McClement there. And Delmeda, you did not tell any lies there, Vince, not that I say you ever would. But Delmeda, what a setup there. Music hardly had to move a centimeter to flick that one on.
It was nice, and it was nice to see Sua come up and have that strike on towards goal. Anyway, he's been a very interesting player to watch. More of a center defensive midfielder, but he's been pushing up, and you know what? Pleasant surprise watching him today.
He has been interchanging a lot with McKenzie is in that D-mid and central defensive role. And it's given Lakehill that extra little bit of pressure to try and put on the Prospect Lake counter, which they've needed more than once on this first half. And just as we say that, Sua now pushing forward, looked for Music, couldn't hit him. Following up, D'Almeida looks for Rose out wide, finds him, brings it down, little touch, and that'll go wide. That will be a corner, I think. It did come off the sliding edge of the defender Malloy, or actually that might have been Smith who made that sliding block. And a late corner here.
Again, dangerous Rose on the outside, good service. Vladimir tricky in the middle. Oh, I thought they had one there, but the Prospect Lake D again showing up.
With the armband, Cameron Rose. Let's go for near post and for Lenton. Tamavong got there first. Atleo charges forward. No fear here, and Rose might get a second phase ball out of this. He does try it. Flicked on by Lenton. Got good service and a connection there, but Salmon is not going to be fooled by that, and that calm little header, well wide of his net, is scooped up. Drop kick will land off the head of a couple players there. Thompson and McKenzie coming for it. Sua out to Atleo. Rose knocks it back. McKenzie. McKenzie goes long. He's found Music, but Dalrymple is there instead. Touched out wide. I think it was a very hopeful ball. A little too hopeful, and now charging it from the back is Taylor Hunter. Hunter out wide to Lenton. It's good service. There's the return. And it's in the back of the net. He's onside. He's in the back of the net. It's Vlad Music. 1-0 Lakehill at the stroke of halftime. And who else would it be but their leading scorer, Vince?
Yeah, Vlad, wow. Nice finish. I was really surprised with that run from Taylor Hunter.
That came out of nowhere.
Wow. I think that's been his first great run of the half, and wow, did he pick a good time for it? And it was really a tap-in for Mr. Music. Wow, that was a big goal.
Got help from all parts of the pitch there. Lenton forward as well. But it's Music with the goal. That will be his 6th of the Cup campaign, which now puts him in a 3-way tie with Rose and Lenton for team lead on this prolific Lakehill campaign in the Tony Grover Cup.
Lakehill, first goal of the game. Scored by number 25, Vladimir Music.
Now Lenton, can he add one here? Salmon's out of his net a bit here, but good block. They're calling for a handball. Nothing given, says the referee. There's quite a few shouts from the few extra dozen referees in attendance as well, but unfortunately only the one in all black in the center has the final say.
Vlad Music was the VISL December Footballer of the Month, if memory serves me correct, and he picked up some lovely prizes from the Strathcona Hotel, care of Kelly Wallace Photography, in the runnings for the Heineken Cup Championship.
Once again, Hunter's been moved further and further forward. I'm realizing this as this half has gone on. He was well far forward to help that header. Now he's drifted back into more defensive position. Now Lakehill happy to hold possession here to see the half out, but Smith gets in the way. Tamavong up against McKenzie. Suba coming back to help. They'll go wide. Broughton tries his luck. Did that catch a deflection? It did not. It was straight out, says the referee. It'll be a goal kick for Lakehill. I think Brown had more time than he thought he did. There were a couple options to this near side here.
Yeah, that was wishful thinking, I think, from that distance on Rob McIntyre, but an extra touch there, I think, was on.
Lakehill will take their time coming out the back of this. Played the 45. So listen for that whistle from the referee. It's at any moment now. Clement. Nice little shake there. Hughes dropped back to get it and loses possession. Sua clears. Tamavong. Has some help here in the form of Smith, and there goes somebody to Thompson. There's the return ball. Smith on the run here. Puts it on the deck. And you can see the target there charging in, 16 Kevin Bobies. And Sua, nice little flick. Patient work there from Yuta. So he's got space and time to set something up here. Dalmeida helps it forward. Rose. All the attacking options are in great positions here for Lakehill. They look for Music for the header.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I think Vlad's going to be punishing himself for not scoring that one. That was great service from Cam Rose, I believe, and right before the half. Ouch.
So it stays 1-0. although not for lack of effort. Music has one at the 45th minute. He nearly has two in stoppage time.
Lakehill Masters.
Ryan Salmon showing up point blank to stop Music from taking the team lead in goals for the Cup. He's already leading the league campaign with 7. Behind him is Dalmeida with 6, and both of them have been busy in this first half. After 45 minutes in the Tony Grover Masters Cup final, it's Lakehill Masters 1, Prospect Lake Lakers 0. We'll be back with the second half after this break.
starting April 6th and 7th, and that the winner of this match determines the BC Cup berth. The draw will take place Tuesday, March 26th on BC Soccer's YouTube channel at 12 noon. Also, following the Tony Grover Masters Cup, the future match of the day, the Sir John Jackson Cup. Please stick around and watch the two teams play for the cup. Request and come up Battle United. Score to start the second half of the match. Lakehill Masters A1, Prospect Lakers A0.
And with that, the second half of the Tony Grover Masters Cup is underway. My name is Roturo. Glad to be with you for the second half of this cup final. First of the two cup finals will be today on Rogers TV. Second one being the Sir John Jackson Cup coming up at the conclusion of this match. For right now, it is Lakehill 1, Prospect Lake 0 on a 45th minute goal by Vladimir Music. Lakehill in the team in the white shirt with the black shorts on your broadcast left. Prospect Lake in their orange shirt and black shorts and orange socks on your broadcast right. Only one substitution to take note of so far. Number 6, Brent Snelling, has come into the match for Prospect Lake. We'll get confirmation who he replaced in just a moment. It was Chris Guerra who came out in the first half for Shane McClement. And shot taken by Tamavong, as Alex Tamavong wastes no time whatsoever in making sure that the second half, hopefully, will see Prospect Lake back into the score column. They've moved Tyler Thompson a little further up front into the attack here. It's a different shape attack here, more of a 4-1-3-2. That may shift again. Both teams were running a 4-3-3 in the first half. 4 defenders, 3 in midfield, 3 floating attackers. We'll see if that changes it any way with the game state being what it is. Meanwhile, Barry doing well there to come away with that. Cooper Barry going to ground. There's Lenton, and Renton draws the foul as Smith was adjudged to be a little bit too harsh, and that early kickaway is going to get a talking to. As the captain, no less, Matt Malloy, drawing the referee's ire, and the no more chances discussion is had.
Matt loves sticking a tackle. You love to see it. It's the old school football in him. He'll definitely stick a tackle and, maybe send a little message with that tackle at the same time.
So for your money, Vince Greco, what was your summary of that first half? We saw a 1-0 for Lakehill. What was your biggest takeaway?
You know what? I really think that Lakehill just dominated the midfield. And because of that, with the service they were getting from the outside, it was just too much for Prospect Lake. I think we're lucky to have a 1-0 scoreline right now, to be honest. I think Lakehill should have had at least another one. But you know what? Prospect Lake could have had one themselves with Jordy. So you know what? It's game on.
45 minutes separating us from a trophy raising of the Tony Grover Masters Cup, and Prospect Lake down by a goal. See there, attempt to go through from Clement is intercepted, and away goes Atleo.
And you know what? For the first time in many years, no Cowichan, no Uvik, no Gorge. Two pretty much fresh teams in the final. I know Lake Hills won it many years ago, but neither of these teams have been in the final for, Prospect Lake maybe never. And Lake Hill, I believe, last time was 2003 when they won it as Lake Hill Frolic back in the day.
Why did they ever change that name?
Well, I think they took a lot of ribbing.
They're so unique, though. But I digress. Let's get back to the action here as Thompson watches that ball hit McKenzie, and it'll be Sua. Striding through the rain here in Langford. Brought down.
You know what? I misspoke. The Frolic actually was not it was Frolic Embroidery. That was a sponsor back in the day. A good outfit, the Schubert family, who sponsored the team. And so, I take it back. The Frolic name is definitely a good supporter of the league.
One worthy of being engraved on the Tony Grover Cup for sure.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, it'll be a deep service here for Lake Hill as they manage to work that one out the far side. Atley will come over and take a look at this. They've actually switched their fullback pairings around, it looks like. They've moved Jaeger over to this near side and pushed Atleo out to the left. So they sort of inverted their look from the first half. Interesting switch there. Meanwhile, it's Hunter and Hughes jostling for the ball. That hasn't changed since the first half at all. Thompson, though, has been pushed further forward. He'll watch McKenzie. Goes long with this play. Looking for Music, finds him. It's a lovely ball. Right to the boots of Vlad Music. It's kind of service you dream about. Sua gets the return. Jaeger. Looking for Barry, and Barry is judged to have fouled his man there, as to the ground went Dalrymple.
A little extra handwork from Cooper Berry there. No stranger to that.
And they'll restart quickly. Sua has been quietly having a monstrous game in that midfield, is Yuta Sua. We mentioned it in the first half briefly, Vince, about how his role as a defensive midfielder is starting to morph more into a box-to-box, more of an 8, getting further and further forward.
Are these guys going to play again on Wednesday?
And it's
Saturday again.
there's no it's no shocker here that with him and the surprise run that we saw from Taylor Hunter, breaking that midfield is what gave us our 1-0 goal. Meanwhile, on this near side, Darcy Lenton is over blocked as Rose tried to uncork one from this edge of the penalty area.
You know what? Taylor's on my radar now. He's actually doing a very nice job defending as well. He's got his mitts full with that Jordy Hughes character, and you know what? He's actually done a fair job when called upon. So, yeah, that's been a nice little pleasant surprise today from him.
If there's ever a time to show yourself, a cup final is the place to do it. And Jaeger's throw in. We'll look for Barry. Does hit the first touch to it, but can't get the second or any assistance, and they'll go with the clearance with Prospect Lake. Right back to it, though. Touched inside is Jaeger. Getting the turn is Dalmeida, but there's no one there to run to that. Dalmeida's ball a little bit too hopeful. And Brian Salmon will make sure we stay at 1-0. Goes for midfield. Sua's there, as is Broughton. Thompson nods it forward, just past Hughes, who can't get there ahead of McKenzie. Tamavong knocks it down. Nice little cut back there from Alex Tamavong. Out wide, he's asking for a lot, and that's actually a good run to get there from Eastman. Puts the cross in. Hughes can't get contact on it. Just a few hairs away there from making contact. And their danger isn't over yet, but Clement. There's the layoff for Broughton, but it's a poor one, and waiting for it was D'Almeida. Good read. And there's a long ball for a wide open Rose on his off wing. Puts it in for Barry. Can't make contact, but waiting for it is Lenton, but he gets under it. Oh, I think he saw the net and got a little bit anxious. He put himself under that instead of through it.
I think he thought he was a defender and he was clearing the ball.
He's only been playing in the other half of the pitch for the first 45 minutes. I can see the confusion.
I'm shocked on that one. Oh, great build-up, but Mr. Lenton, he'll be shaking his head on that one.
It remains 1-0. There'll be a goal kick here to be taken by Matt Malloy. Along's header, finds McClement, knocks it down, but that's intercepted. And now, nice touch from Cooper Barry. Out wide. There's the cross over the heads of everybody, and Lenton will get another chance to perhaps redeem himself here, so can corral this. Near the corner flag, touches back, nice little footwork there. Against Smith. It's it low for Jaeger. Waiting for help. There's the return. Lenton. Against Hamavong. Makes some space. It's all Lenton here. Prospect Lake being extra cautious to not overcommit. Sua. Lenton again, nice little turn, but no control that time. But Sua charges in to make sure that the takeaway from Smith goes nowhere. Sliding into Smith, that might go out. And it will. It will be a throw in, taken quickly. Pressure stays on. Lenton pops it up. And popped up again by Smith. And it falls underneath. Sua comes away. Snelling helping out there with Broughton. Now it's Smith. And now Prospect Lake can only get it about 40 yards away from their own net. As this is some of the pressure that Lakehill's been trying to apply, and now they're getting it. This is some sustained pressure now in the attacking zone. It's crunch time now for the Prospect Lake defense. There's a nice first-time ball from Rose, and Salmon is there.
Yeah, Prospect Lake's a little bit under the gun here.
They're looking for that goal. Try and level things up, and they might get a chance here. It's a nice touch from Thompson to Hughes. Jordy Hughes, one-on-one. Back of the net is not there.
Wow, what a save. What a save.
McIntyre, just enough of it to force it past the post. Looked like it was going in.
Oh, what a huge save by Robbie McIntyre there. Wow. And there was Jordy Hughes, you know, coming out of nowhere again. Nice touch. And usually just money on those, but wow, that's a big save.
Thompson with the setup too. That little flick caught the entire Lakehill backline by surprise by Thompson. Charging into Smith, can he get a ball? Does he just get it on net? Oh, deflected up and over. Who touched that last? It came off of a Lakehill defender, so it'll be another corner. Well, Prospect Lake has decided they want some time in the attacking end, apparently.
Yeah, I think that might have been Sam Yeager that got a toe to it to get it over the bar as opposed to an own goal, which are never fun for the defending team.
Never much so. That's two very quality chances, and McIntyre, who had a quiet first half, has been called into action here in the second, and he has been sharp. There's the corner. They go right to the spot, headed clear. Barry will help us the rest of the way. Rose is the only attacker forward, as Lakehill put almost all hands on deck to defend that one. And Pamavong trying to strike through two attackers can, and now there's a chance for Lakehill the other way. D'Almeida. Pass Smith is foul. That'll be a yellow quite possibly. And going to the pocket is the referee, and that is the first booking of the game. Yellow is shown. I don't think there's any surprise there. That was about the clearest tactical yellow you'll ever see. D'Almeida had the half step. And it was pretty much all that could be done was to show the card. I believe that was Mike Smith who made that foul, although I'll wait for official confirmation on that. Lakehill now with time to set this up. It's Barry. Sua nearby. Puts it low. Oh, goes past the near post, and it did catch either a hand or a leg on the way by. It'll be a corner for Lakehill on the far side. I don't think anyone was expecting Barry to put that one low, and he just burned the top of the turf with it. See Music sharing a laugh there with the Prospect Lake defense as they get set up for another. They'll go near post. Hamavong is there. Waiting for that is Atleo. Headed by Tamavong. Hughes stepped in front of by, I believe that was McKenzie. Nope, take that back, that was Hunter. Salmon, quick throw. Tamavong's got a lot of space to work with here. Has an overlap coming, and there it is. It's Eastman. This side it goes. Cross is grabbed, and you can see the target there. No shocker there. Target was Jordy Hughes, but nothing doing. Meanwhile, the other end, Music trying to get into the clear, but runs into a body, and the throw-in will go the way of Lakehill. So danger not over. So Vlad Music continues to make himself a handful. Prospect Lake. No rush whatsoever for Sam Yeager to take this. Up a goal in the cup final, and I'm sure he'll be taking a leisurely tactical walk to all these throw-ins. Meanwhile, that one does manage to get past the leg of Snelling. Music 1-on-2. Gets it past Dalrymple. Does it get to deflection? It does. That will be a corner. Music did manage to buy that corner off of Dalrymple. Dalrymple says never touched him. The two referees near the ball are unconvinced. Set piece here for Lakehill. Up a goal. Yeager to take this one. Floats it up. Can't find the header. Ball not cleared. Lenton's looking for it. Shouts for handball. Nothing given, but that one is, as the clearance did catch a hand on the way out. And there's more than a few shouts from the Lakehill attackers about why a handball in the box was not called on Tamavong. Meanwhile, substitution queued up here for Prospect Lake. They'll bring some fresh legs on. See who the replacement is. It looks like that will be Tyler Thompson coming out. And that will require Shane McClement to move over to cover the whole left. So we'll see who the replacement is. They add some height to this midfield. In the form of number 9, Michael Sumbrak. Dalrymple. Is it out wide to Eastman. They look long with no one there, but they will actually get a free kick out of it. The referee deciding that there was a foul made by the defense.
A wee push.
Just a bit of one. Actually, might have been a bit soft for me. But regardless, it is a chance for Prospect Lake. And can they do something with it here? They've got plenty of bodies forward now. They're only leaving one back, and that's Dalrymple. They go high, but that's going to be right at the man in teal, Rob McIntyre. And he will claim that confidently. Atleo, out to the left. On the deck for Music, watched by Dalrymple. Up against McClement. McClement actually steals this and comes away with it after two nice deflections. McKenzie decides he's had quite enough of that and puts it out into touch. No nonsense defending from Sean McKenzie. It'll be Eastman to take this throw for Prospect Lake. Ooh. McIntyre had to be sharp there, as standing right in front of him. Then he substitutes Sumbrak. Nearly managed to sneak one in, but instead it stays 1-0 for Lakehill. Lenton nearly steals that one off of Dalrymple. And Malloy's got to be quick here, and he'll just put that out. Smith make that, excuse me. Not Malloy. Mike Smith opting to put that one into touch. I did finally get an answer to my question before of that substitution for Prospect Lake at the very start of the half.
Well, Kevin Boybees had to come out, yeah. I wonder why. Wonder if he was took a knock.
Hopefully all is well with him. So we'll find out later, I suppose. For right now, it is going to be action in the defensive half here for Lakehill. I think they've got did they concede a throw? No, they've got their own throw. I'll launch this forward. Broughton helps it on. Hughes came in short. Tamavong now cycled forward. They've moved the attackers around a little bit here at Prospect Lake. Fortunately, it's now the defenders who will need to get to work as the ball on the deck looking for Lenton, who's got a step here on Smith. Opts first time. Great save by Salmon. Confident save there from Salmon. Low to his right. Two hands to it. Making it look textbook. Great work, though, to find space to put Lenton in on goal like that. Lakehill straight back to it.
Oh.
As Rose almost danced his way into the 6-yard box there. Unfortunately, lacking a little bit of control, and that, oh, it did come off a defender. I wondered if it went straight off of Rose. No, it was it was off a defender. That'll be a corner for Lakehill. Well, they'll gladly eat up a few seconds here, repairing the corner flag as they do. Good soccer citizen Tyson Atleo. There's the right-footed delivery, flicked on. Oh, Lenton almost had that one. And there's someone who's been very hungry for a goal, Vince, is Darcy Lenton.
Oh, he's had a couple of glorious chances. That one right up there, too. Did well on that, but just going off that point part of his head.
Prospect Lake will once again start from the back and work things forward. So the 11's on the pitch right now, as we understand it. For Prospect Lake, Salmon in goal. Eastman, Dalrymple, Malloy, and Smith are the back line. Broughton, Sumbarak, and McClement in midfield. Snelling, Hughes, and Tamavong up front. For Lakehill, McIntyre in goal. Atleo, McKenzie, Hunter, and Yeager on the back line. You can see there Yeager getting it back. There's McClement rescuing for Prospect Lake. In midfield, Dalmeda, Sua, and Barry for Lakehill, and then an attacking trio of Cameron Rose, Vlad Music, and Darcy Lenton. Music with the goal in the 45th minute. Nearly had a second in stoppage time, were it not for Salmon's best save of the game. Point blank. And that is how we find ourselves at 1-0. Now we see Lakehill making their first substitution of the afternoon. And we'll see who they bring out here. It looks like that's going to be... It's not Yeager, is it? No, that is Rose actually coming out, the captain. Captain slash coach, depending on the day, possibly both.
A little bit of both. A lot of these senior guys sort of take on both roles. You know, him, Cooper Barry, Brandon North, all sort of player coaches, chief babysitters.
I'll let you say that and not me.
I mean it with love. They put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. It's a lot of it is, though, like herding cats and organizing guys with their families and such. So, never-ending battle.
Yeager with the throw-in. Goes past Sua. Go all the way over to Hunter. And they'll go out wide. Atleo touching that forward. Hunter now, once again, on one of those forward runs that came out of nowhere. He's now moving himself up to the left-hand side. They'll go long, waiting for that as Malloy gets away from De Almeida. So it's Mandu Gobel, who's come in for Cam Rose. and their first substitution of the game. Meanwhile, it looks like there is another sub that was queued up, and Broughton will be coming out for this one. So Chris Broughton will take a seat as Prospect Lake makes another change. So I assume will be a like for like in midfield, try and provide some fresher legs. They have a few options to go with here. They've opted to go with Tony Flynn. So Flynn sliding into that midfield. So it's an all substitute midfield now for Prospect Lake as they get use out of their bench, looking for fresh legs, try and find that tying goal. Dalrymple's moved up a little bit now. I think he'll spell off with Sumbarak. Throw in for Prospect Lake on the far side. Over goes Eastman to take it. There is Flynn, the substitute, jumping for it. A little over his head. And it'll be Barry, who will calmly send it out wide. Gets the return ball over to Gobo. And foul will be judged there as one too many orange legs being left in late. Lakehill will have their free kick. Now with the armband, that's Atleo now, who now has the armband. Over from Rose after he was subbed out. And slowly advancing up that far side, one ball at a time, Goebel. Here's the return to Atley, who comes central. He's got some space to work with here. Tries his own with the right boot. Didn't hit the target, but had the height right for that one. Good amount of pace on it. But I think when you're up a goal, you can be a little more luxurious with your shot choice. And I have to think that Atleo fancied himself going for a little bit of a banger here from about 30 yards out.
Yeah, I'd say that was a little bit more wishful thinking on his part as well. But hey, you know what? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Wise words.
Wayne Gretzky.
Charging forward, Almeida lives up to Goebel. Thought about the first time ball, takes a couple touches here. Now we'll get with the right boot centrally. Waiting for that was Flynn. Atleo staring down Hughes. Goes out wide. And to Goebel. Chips it high. Sua's header falls to Music. Turns. Lays it off to Almeida.
Oh, jeez.
It doesn't come that close. How many times have Lakehill rolled one just past the post? We've seen Lenton do it. We've seen Music do it. Now we've seen one from Dalmeida.
Oh, what a great ball from Music there to send in Dalmeida all by himself. Great challenge by Salmon to sort of force the issue there with Almeida. But wow, that was a grade A chance missed.
Music now starting with a little bit of a deeper lying roll to help with the attack. As Almeida stays high. Sua getting there before Hughes. Hunter has to move with Hughes all over him. McIntyre. Eastman with the header. Gobo. Dalrymple leaves it for Salmon. Here's the call. Keeper. We'll go with the route one here. No subtlety to this. Get it forward as quick as you can. And a gentle header out of play by Sean McKenzie. Again, no subtlety here. No time for it. Brent Snelling with the throw over the top. Finds Sumbarak. Turns, pops it up. That will be behind, and it will be a goal kick. I don't think he got nearly the contact he wanted on that delivery. And looks another Lakehill sub is being queued up here. See, that looks like Yuta Sua is jogging off the pitch. We'll see who replaces him.
Looks like Brandon North, but my eyes could be failing me.
I'll trust your eyes over mine any day of the week, Vince. Let's see. Goal kick taken. Dallin has him careful, and that is indeed Brandon North. Once again, never bet against Vince Greco, trying to identify a guy from 20 meters away. Right footwork from Cooper Berry was nice. Who earned the throw out of it as No real choice there for Malloy but to get it out of play. Jaeger with the throw. The music couldn't get there, but the clearance by McClement ensures that they'll get a second go at it. So again, looking for music. Tried the headed flick on that time. Still in play. Did it catch a deflection? No, straight out, says the referee. Smith agilely leaps the barricade at the back to get that ball back into play as quickly as possible.
What position does Alex play?
Now urging his team long is Malloy.
Like you played Vargas? Eh? Like how you played Vargas? Yep.
Just go over the head of most everybody except Atleo.
Did you ever coach this group?
Clement with the header.
Alex played for the youth team.
Global got a touch to it, and now they'll try again. Hughes under it, jumps, flicks it on. Tamavong, oh, you could see the idea there. He saw the overlap happening. Couldn't make contact properly. Hughes over to McClement. On the deck, looking for Tamavong. Didn't hit him. Atleo moves it forward. Goebel. Their turn with pace. This pace was good, but the ball didn't go with him. Music with the first time ball, looking for Dalmeida, excuse me. Smith will shepherd that over to Salmon. Dalrymple. Has options to go along with. The opts to find Hughes. Not a bad choice. Flicked on, going centrally. Could find Tamavong.
Hey
Music
guys, just so you
playing
know,
hold up
before,
directly in
my
midfield.
light isn't coming on when you're saying I'm live.
I hope so too.
Throw and taken on this near side by Smith. Goes up the line, headed down by Jaeger. Nice flick on there from Lenton. Cleared to midfield. McKenzie has to be quick with Hughes all over him, and up comes Smith to intercept. Smith trying to find their way through, but now it's, with them searching for a goal, it's Lakehill on the back foot, and their defense is stymieing Prospect Lake, much like Prospect Lakes did for most of the first half. Tamavong, Sumbarak. There's the return. Nice sliding block there. That was Hunter or McKenzie. One of the two of them slid in for that and did well to clear it. Dalrymple, last one back. Does well to hold possession. Gets it out wide for Smith. Has to be careful. Lenton coming in, slides in. Referee's fine with it. Smith touches central. Nice return ball. Hughes in traffic. That'll be a free kick. Lakehill saying that Hughes went to ground a little bit too easy. Referee is satisfied that there was enough there for a foul, and this is a dangerous location for a free kick. And I suppose the question becomes, is this a Jordy Hughes special direct to goal?
I'd be willing to bet a couple bucks that it is.
McClement is coming off the field. They are going to make a sub here as McClement is out. Very quick sub there. So McClement, who came in earlier, is out. And it's Hughes, direct for goal, hits the lower edge of the wall. Lenton got a boot on it. Hughes does well to touch, has space, puts it low, headed. Malloy again will try. Fresh off the subs bench that time. That was Flynn, excuse me, who'd come forward. Not from the subs bench, but that was Flynn. And they will get another corner out of this. Lakehill is starting to feel the pressure now from Prospect Lake, as the desperation kicks in, looking for that tying goal. Flipping from Hughes' near post, but waiting for that was Lenton. Eastman, swing and a miss as he was back checked there by Dalmeida. Clever as well, Goebel. Short little clearance. And there's no real counter on here for Lakehill, but they'll be fine with that, just to put the ball in a nice position to force a play here from Prospect Lake. They won't get the luxury of a goal kick out of it. Dalmeida, a nice high press here on Dalrymple. Salmon. Sumrak has come way back here to help out with the build-out. Eastman looking long. Got Hughes on that far side.
Ooh.
That clearance from McIntyre had to be good. There was pressure coming in rapidly in the form of Jesse Richard, who was freshly onto the pitch to replace Shane McClement, which happened during that set piece. Still a few subs on each team's bench that haven't seen the pitch yet. Kevin James being one of them from Prospect Lake. For Lakehill, Rajan Darawal, Halib Miret, Jeff Cook, Julian Munson, Nick Middleton, and Jeremy Pearson on the subs bench as the outfield players. They also have Johnny Medeiros and Scott Rankin as their backup goalkeepers. Forward by Almeida. Goebel tried to get on the return. Lenton, first time ball. That's a little bit wide, I'll charitably say, just a little. And that'll be a goal kick for Prospect Lake.
He might have hit that to the bowling alley.
Well, it's 7-10 split's a hard shot, Vince. You got to really get the spin on it. So I can understand why you'd want to start from there. Lakehill 1, Prospect Lake 0. Tony Grover Cup final. Lakehill downed the mighty couch and on the way here. You mentioned it earlier, Vince, that some of the powerhouses from the Masters A pool not in this final this year. And Lakehill is one of the reasons why.
Yeah, I mean, you had the couch and Vic West game.
Well, on the attack here. Lenton, can he turn provider? Salmon is waiting for it.
Yeah, we had the couch and Vic West game early in the bracket, which sort of knocked out one of the powerhouses. That's where Vic West got knocked out. But really, not having couch or Vic West here this year, big surprise. Big surprise, especially the couch team after beating Vic West. You really thought the 49ers and crew, the other Tyler's connection, or the other Hughes connection, would have been here today.
Will we still see a Hughes brother get their hand on the trophy? It's still possible, though Jordy's going to need to perhaps score at least a couple himself for that to happen. Meanwhile, collision between, I think that was McKenzie and Richard coming together. And referee's going to call for a halt and have a brief word. Jesse Richard. Stern talking to, as it were. Substitution queued up for Lakehill as well, as out comes Vlad Music. He has the 1-0 goal that currently has Lakehill in the lead. And we'll see who is spelling him off here at midfield, as Music had been an excellent sort of prototypical hold up forward as this game progressed. Did the damage and then made sure everyone else had a chance to get in. And it's Nick Middleton who will take Music's place. Goebel's cross. Down goes Dalmeida. Referee isn't interested. A chance here for Prospect Lake if they can keep this in possession. Unfortunately, that ball is not going to find the feet of Richard. This is Snelling's attempt. Down through. Meanwhile, Hughes nearly picks the pocket of McIntyre, who's on a bit of an adventure here in his area. And then that clearance is a bit of a shank as well. Fun adventures for Lakehill, though perhaps fun isn't the word they would use.
And Robbie will do that sometimes. It's his second adventure today, and looks like he's gotten away out of it. No harm, no foul, but these keepers these days.
How dare they feel like they have a right to put their foot on the ball. We give them gloves for a reason.
That's right.
Meanwhile, McIntyre will be called into service here undoubtedly. His corner kick now for Prospect Lake. Another Lakehill substitution to try and disrupt the flow of things, keep those feet fresh. We'll see who they decide to bring in, or who they decide to bring out here, more crucially. Right now, Normally they would go off by the nearest edge, and if someone has left the pitch, it isn't immediately obvious who it is. Oh, is it Dalmeida? So Dalmeida is going to take the slow walk to the nearest edge.
Almeida is a product of FC Sager's youth organization, predominantly a Portuguese component of the island. Long roots here on the island with a lot of great players over the years.
Certainly was at some of his creative best today. It was a handful up front. Unfortunately not rewarded with a goal for his efforts, but now, oh, very, very nearly. You saw the net ripple in your heart was in your mouth for a moment there. That close.
Jeez, I know my eyes are going on me. I thought that went in for a second.
I was thinking, did we just see an Olympico? But then I saw them going behind the net from like, okay, we're fine. That close though. Prospect Lake continue to try and find that last little advantage that is going to put the ball in the back of the net for them. They're getting closer, but close is not enough when you're down 1-0. We must have a winner to raise that cup today. Well, flicked on nearly. Oh, and Jesse Richard knows he could have maybe gotten there if he was a step quicker. Head in hands. No time to dwell on it, though. You see Jordy Hughes marshalling troops. Get in position, get in position. Meanwhile, referee, has he seen something on the... I think he was telling one of the players to go get cleaned up. Like possibly a cut or something. Yes, he is. He's going to be sending Lenton off the pitch to go get looked at.
A little bit of spillage.
Or is that, sorry, McKenzie, excuse me, not
Yeah,
Linton.
That's Sean.
That's
Bad time to go down a body.
and especially McKenzie as well, someone who's been part of this defense. So a brief one advantage. Tamavong with the delivery. Headed clear. Trying there was Eastman, couldn't get it through. Jousting for it now. Bodies everywhere. Richard tries a shot, can't go through. And finally, at long last, cleared by Hunter. Dalrymple will have this just above the midfield stripe. Snelling over. Sumbruck looking for Flynn. Couldn't get him ahead of Hunter. And Atleo will keep this in. Gets the deflection, but the deflection stays in. Hunter directly out of play. No subtlety there, and they're still working at trying to patch up McKenzie there at the Lakehill bench. Nothing's come to it yet, and Goebel, who's left forward, is shouldered heavily in the back by Eastman. I don't think that was necessary at all from Eastman. I'm surprised he's not being booked for this.
What a silly foul to take.
Yeah, there's tactical fouls, and then there's that. There were numbers back. Goebel was playing hold up and clearly wasn't starting a counter, at least from our eyes anyway. I don't think it was necessary to go that hard through the back of the player, no less. Well, this will give Lakehill's physio a good workout here, as they'll tend to Goebel while they're also patching up McKenzie. And a brief water break as well. Mandu Goebel is back on his feet here. Appears to be all right to continue. He will have to leave the field of play and then be allowed back in.
Wow, Lakehill's down 2 bodies right now.
Yep. This is a gift if you're Prospect Lake, but you have to do something with it. Recovery of this free kick is going to be so important. Atleo put this at the head of Dalrymple. Middleton helping out there, or North, excuse me, helping out with that. This is Middleton now, over the top. Behind Lenton, Salmon gets there first. Confident claim there from the keeper, and now it's Smith. Goebel's back on the pitch, as is McKenzie, so the brief advantage is over. It's now back to 11-11. Tamavong, nice little turn to shake Barry. And now Hughes from deep. Bodies lining up, 6 of them on the attack for Prospect Lake. Smith plays it low. Snelling, he's got options here. Snelling with the cross. popped up and in! It's in! We're level at 1! One orange crush of a wave, and it was delivered from Snelling to Flynn. Just like that. They were desperate for one, they got it. It took an entire wave of players lined up against the defensive line of Lakehill, but Prospect Lake have found their breakthrough. We are level at 1.
Well, it's funny, Arturo, just as you were mentioning the 6 sort of strikers coming forward in that line, I thought, oh boy, they're going for it on this. And you know what? Somehow it paid off. It was, well, it's 1-1, so I guess it worked.
It was the patience from Smith he thought about going long. You could see it on the near side, then thought the better of it.
First goal of the game.
Rolled it short.
Scored by number 15, Tony Flynn.
Let Snelling go on the run. Snelling puts the cross. And this late in the game, a very key. And so Snelling will get a welcome reward for his contribution here. He'll be subbed off, and Prospect Lake will bring some legs back into this match.
I guarantee you now, those chances earlier by Lakehill that were, you know, just wide, just missed, not connected on, you know, not taken well. Those guys they're going to be upset with themselves now because it's, yeah, well, it's 1-1.
Yes, it is. And just as a reminder for those watching at home, Vince, do we go to extra time or is it straight to penalty kicks after 90?
You know what? We are following the BCSA model, which is straight to PKs. So I know the Masters guys don't want an extra 30 minutes of running, so it'll go straight to PKs. And but I think there's going to be another goal.
There might be Barry charging forward. Dalrymple has to come back, and he's hauled down by Barry. That's going to be an easy foul to call. I saw the hand go to the pocket just for a second there. I think that, yeah, that's going to do it. Oh, no, is Dalrymple going to get carded here? Oh, Dalrymple's getting sent off for misconduct. Straight red to Zach Dalrymple. So the call had already gone the way of Prospect Lake. Dalrymple objected to why Barry hadn't been carded, and Dalrymple gets sent off.
What a silly card to take.
Prospect Lake goes level and loses their best defender on the afternoon. That could be disaster for Prospect Lake.
Well, obviously something was said, and it wasn't a compliment.
It wasn't beers after the match. No, I'm thinking not.
Homophobic, Nick? It's got to be something harsh. That's a straight red on 90.
I know, that's crazy.
They start taking quickly. Lakehill have a chance here, up a player, to absolutely dash the dreams of Prospect Lake, looking for their first ever piece of hardware at this competition. Lakehill have done this once before, but that was 21 years ago. And they add something from this era of VISL Masters action to their trophy cabinet. If they don't do it now, they'll have to do it in the drama and the lottery of the penalty kicks. Atleo, Goebel, past Flynn. D'Almeida back into the match. Goebel over the net.
Geez.
Not a surprise at all as soon as D'Almeida comes back into this match. Now that he has the space afforded by having one fewer player to play against, he's going to be finding these seams. It's a Sumbarak there who's been floated in a couple of different positions throughout this match, and originally was played up front. Now he's more of a midfield disruptor type role, and I think he might be moved all the way to the back now that Prospect Lake are down a player. Dalrymple sent off for a straight red after a foul called in favor of Prospect Lake. Here's another one, right at the midfield line. Sumbarak will leave it, actually. I have to think there can't be much on the clock here, but Malloy's allowing his charges to take their time getting up there. Now he sends in the left footer. It's a good one too. Hughes with the header. That will go right to the edge of the area, and opting to catch it there is McIntyre. Malloy gets a boot to it. That'll be a throw for Lakehill. Global will leave that for Atleo. Takes it quickly. And look who else has come back into this match but Vlad Music. Eastman. Little overhead sombrero there. Of the defender variety. McKenzie. Give Lakehill even more seconds to chew off the clock here. They're up a player, they're level on goals. If they want to win it outright, they have to do it before the final whistle goes, or else we go to penalties. Throwing for Prospect Lake on this near side. Smith comes over to take it quickly. Smith and Snelling linking up that got Prospect Lake their tying goal. Yeager's long throw cleared by Sumbrak. And it'll be another Lakehill ball deep. Check of the watch from the referee. We are getting close to that time. Can Lakehill make their advantage count? There's a throw into the box, headed up. Not totally clear, but helped the rest of the way. By Tyler Thompson, who's come back into this one. No surprise, bringing in the defensive stalwarts. Try and see this game to penalties if you're Prospect Lake. Hang on with your fingernails dug deep in. Flynn.
Ooh.
Couldn't knock that free from Atley. Atley gets a free ball forward. Dalmeida, right-footed over the bar. And the referee checks again. And that, I believe, no, he's called for a replacement ball there, as the one had gone under the bleachers over the end boards. Malloy will try and marshal something here. The first priority for Prospect Lake has to be responsibility on the defensive side of things, down a player. And they do win a foul here. So they'll get some more time to solidify their back line. At the very least, force the Lakehill attackers back. And they try to move the ball forward a little bit. The referee is not having it. And we will go to penalties. That was the last gasp. We are level at 1. Unofficially, it is Music at 45 and Flynn at 81.
Masters 1, Prospect Lake Lakers 1. We will now go directly to penalty kicks.
With nothing solved after 90 minutes, we go to penalty kicks. 5 shooters for each team. Most goals after 5 attempts for each side wins the Tony Grover Cup. If we are still level on penalties after 5 shooters each, sudden death. 1 shooter at a time for each side. First team to secure an advantage secures the cup.
Sorry? 7. 5-7.
For Lakehill, their top scorers, Rose, Lenton, Music, all with 6 goals in the cup, including Music's 6th today. Dalmeida has 4, Middleton has 2 in this cup run. In league play, it's Music on 7, Dalmeida with 6, Cooper Berry has 4. Goebel also has 3 to contribute, and Lenton with 2. We'll take a look at some highlights while they decide who's going to shoot and at what end they are going to do the shooting at between Lakehill and Prospect Lake. So here was the run we were talking about before. This again, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is a defender. That was the run set up. And this was an absolutely wonderful run that started the goal. Great save here from McIntyre, getting an arm to that Jordy Hughes shot. Yeah, that Taylor Hunter run still amazes me, that he was left unmarked to run up from the defensive position. Music lays this one off for Dalmeida. Salmon gets just enough on it, and again, Dalmeida thought he might have been able to sneak it by. That was the one that we thought had gone in directly, but no, it was the top of the net that rippled. And here it is. Hughes laying it out to Smith, keeps it on the deck, gives it to Snelling. Snelling plays the left-footed cross in, and then poked in. And it's Flynn who gets it. Also there, you can see it was an initial confusion there to who had it. Was it Richard or Flynn? Sure looked like it was 15 there, Tony Flynn, who got the touch that puts Prospect Lake into this penalty shootout. No Zach Dalrymple, sent off for a straight red before this match was over. Something we assume was said that warranted a straight red for misconduct. And now it'll be the lottery, the drama, the agony, the ecstasy of the penalty shootout. Brian Salmon, goalkeeper for Prospect Lake. Fish, as it says on the back of his jersey. Robert McIntyre for Lakehill. Salmon in the green kit, McIntyre in the teal kit. Prospect Lake in their orange and black, Lakehill in their white with black. And a fetching red stripe. Nod to their traditional home kit of being red with white. And it looks like it'll be Salmon starting things in net, so it'll be Lakehill to shoot first. And Dalmeida will be stepping forward first. He's had so many attempts to find the back of the net. He's been hungry for a goal, it's fair to say. Paulo Dalmeida. Off the bar and over! The snake bit day at the office continues for Paulo Dalmeida. Had Salmon beat, but clipped the bar and went over. Jordy Hughes for Prospect Lake will be the next shooter. No shocker here. They started with Dalmeida and Jordy Hughes. Hughes against McIntyre. One 0 Prospect Lake on penalties. So the score remains 1-1. We only count the penalties from this point forward. Prospect Lake have the first one. Hughes scores. And the pressure now is intensely on Lakehill as they are shooting first. They have to hit everything from here on out and force either a miss out of Prospect Lake or get a massive save from McIntyre. Mandu Gobel up second here. What a save! Gobel faked his fake directions twice. Salmon, unfazed, dives low to his right, makes the save. And Prospect Lake have a chance to put a stranglehold on this shootout. 1-1 after 90, 1-0 on penalties. Second shooter is going to be Alex Tamavong. Tamavong is one good shot away, putting Prospect Lake in a very strong position. And he does find the corner. McIntyre guessed correctly, but couldn't get that far on the stretch. Tamavong scores. Prospect Lake on penalties, 2-0. Just as a correction to the bug that you're seeing on your screen there, it is currently 2-0 on penalties. Not 3-1. It is Barry now coming up. Did that cross the line? I don't think it did. Barry shot. Fish got an arm to it. It hit the bar and went down. I don't think that crossed the line. It may have. No one's reacting like it has. Well, until we hear otherwise, that goes down as another save for Fish in the shootout. And that one misses the net entirely. No subtlety about that one as the captain, Matthew Malloy, misses the net entirely. So 3 shooters done for each side, and up comes Vlad Music. He scored the opening goal of the contest that put Lakehill up 1-0. Music needs to score this. If we're under the assumption that Barry did not score in his attempt, Music has to score here or the shootout's over. Salmon saves it! So because we're going to another shooter, I guess we take it to mean there that Barry did in fact get his shot in, though it sure looked close. And now the substitute, chance to make a name for himself here, Michael Sumbarak. And he hits it! That's it! With a bow, Prospect Lake Lakers have their first ever Tony Grover Cup.
I would never do that. Oh well, 2024. 2024.
Final score,
We all got a little
3-1
bit.
on penalty kicks. So a final score of 2-1 for Prospect Lake Lakers.
1-1 after 90 minutes, 3-1 on penalties. Prospect Lake, and while of course goals are great, give a massive assist to the man they call Fish, Brian Salmon in net. 2 massive saves, was very close to making a third. And you can see the large smile on the face of Brian Salmon. Well, no kidding. Fish may well rightly claim that he has been a massive reason that Prospect Lake had their first ever Tony Grover Cup. Valmeda misses the net, and he tried everything to find the back of the net. Not even penalties could he do it. Jordy Hughes, no mistake there. Goebel saved. Tamavong, no mistake. And this is the one that was exceptionally close. Barry, save bar, it's on the line. And there, Music is saved. And just like that, we didn't see Malloy's miss, but Sumbarak's goal with a little bow. That's the third penalty, and that's enough to win it. Handshakes now at midfield. The trophy presentation will be coming up shortly. But at Starlight Stadium, it is Prospect Lake finishing their cup run with the cup itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, we still have one more final on tap today at 5:30. Feature match of the day.
Prospect 1, Lakehill 1,
This year's cup.
and then 3-1 on penalties. That's going to do it for this match. My name is Roturo. On behalf of Vince Greco and everyone here at the Vancouver Island Soccer League, thank you so much for watching the 2024 Tony Grover Masters Cup on Rogers TV.